So we have dot data dot, I think we use API. We need to sort of find the authenticated part of it. So equals and dot name. So this has to be like it does exist, right? So if it exists and we want to get the authentication, so if the authentication exists, then we want to show the node authentication, right, which we have done here. So that's how we want to start the. So now you see, like if we go here, there's no authentication either, right? But if we go to the node, so this is Gmail, and we had authentication as display name of Gmail, right? The name of Google, the type of OAuth, right? If we go back to the page and we reload, and now we select node, now you see we have authentication available. If we go to spreadsheet, you see that the authentication is not available, and neither is workflow webhook. It seems we are having a pretty bad network today. I don't know why, but the network is just so pretty bad. Come on. This router is fucking out. This is how like this usually is. Like so hot. It's just so hot. Is that why we're getting very bad internet these days? Oh god. Okay. So that's how we had authentication. And another thing that we said we're going to be doing is the properties, right? We want to show the properties in here. But before I do that, let me first do this. So if I go in, if I go into node event section, right, where we have all this. So what I can do here is that I can do selected node, the data.api, and selected node data.event. So if both, we want to show the check. Okay. And what you see here is that the check is still available, right? So what we can do is question mark, else we want to show the info. I don't think we need the hex. I want to show the info. That's just it. Let's hide the X for now. And now you see we're having the check. So if we had a new node and we click on that, now you see we have the info. you see now we have the check, and here we have the info, right? Because we have not selected any application. We have not selected any application really. Okay. So here we selected the sheets and the create spreadsheet, right? So one thing that we need to do is this node, not node settings. Let's go to workflow editor right here, and then let's go node edit. So when no, let's go to node element. So when you click on the node element, what it first does is that it set it to the properties, right? So let's go in here, set selected node. So what I'm first gonna do is I'm gonna set it to be selected node to be null. So I'm gonna do that first, and let's see if doing that helps us. No, it doesn't. It does change styles, right? But you see, it doesn't change all those properties either, because the element needs to sort of needs to be hidden first, then that's what I'm seeing here. Like, okay, if the selected node or should we do the selected node like differently, like const selected node equals use workflow, and like use workflow state dot selected node. So like that, maybe that's going to const node is equal. Okay, does that, let's see if that sort of changes what we're anticipating. No, that doesn't really do much, doesn't like really do anything. So let's refactor this. Let's refactor. The selected node is changing. It did change. Right, it did change. But we do selected node. So what if I do like selected node value? So if I switch, so what if I do, instead of default value, I do value? Okay, so that's one thing. And if I'm changing this, it sort of goes in there already. So if I come here, that changes as well. So but one thing is, see, the title is changing, which is a good thing, which means like we're moving. All right, this is also changing. So event section, let's go to this as well, and let's change this here, and selected node event. I think that one is also changing as well, because if we had a new one and like with switching, that works pretty well, right? So we can remove this, can format this, and now, so we have default value, which is in select option. So which we are adding to default value here. So that is not going to work, because the moment it changes, we have the unchange. We don't need to set, like, we don't need to. So what we can do is we can have like the default value to be this, and we don't set the value, then we do the default value is this.